taxes. Our current system's broken. It cannot be. It cannot sustain local governments. We're sending a ton of money to the state, a ton of money to the federal government, getting very little back. People have to understand that the U.S. and the Commonwealth are the sum of its parts. If the cities and the towns aren't healthy and successful, your state and your country can't be either. So the fact of the matter is, the idea that every time we need more money, it goes on the backs of the homeowners cannot be sustained. It won't work. It's not going to work any longer. There's not enough money. They talk about, well, that's a real hardship to everybody on fixed income. Everybody's on fixed income. It's not only our seniors, our moms and dads, or our grandparents are on fixed income. Everyone else is. Anybody here have a money tree in their backyard? You know what you're going to get paid each year. That's your fixed income. And if you're lucky, you might get a raise, and most times people don't. But the fact of the matter is, you can't continue to build your taxation system on the residents of the people of New Bedford or Massachusetts or anywhere else. And the other thing is, you can't keep sending money to the feds in the state that they burn in barrels and expect this to work. If the priorities of the cities are education, crime, neighborhood revitalization, infrastructure repair, building bridges or fixing bridges, then that's got to be the priority of the state or the federal government. Otherwise, we are going to become very, very wobbly, very, very quick. And then if you, I don't want to talk about it, but if you look at our economic situation right now, the nation that was supposed to become the nation of consumers doesn't have jobs to be the consumers. We've shipped away so many jobs that it's really starting to get a little bit frightening as to what our base is and where we're going. So all of these things have to be obviously looked at, resolved. It's going to take us, but it's also going to take all of our kids and their kids to figure these issues out. But you start at home. You start at a place like New Bedford. I think you can make some real changes for people and their families. So second semester here, or second term rather, I am just going to rev it up a little more, ask more people to help, try and get these economic development projects to fruition, so we provide jobs and an expanded tax base. Find a new, good, great superintendent. We're in the middle of that search right now, and keep going and don't look back. So that's my prescription. We're gonna continue to do it for the good of the order, and hopefully continue to make some some changes for the better. Now, does anyone have any quick questions? Yes.
Well, for Haven Mills there, that's
yes.
really congested as it is.
Right.
And if they put something new there, isn't that going to be more congested?
Well, it can't.
I'm from Fairhaven, and when we come over to New Bedford, it's a mess over there.
Anything that's done there is going to have much different traffic controls, timing devices, wider entrance from the 195, as well as wide entrances into Fairhaven Mills. So I think it'll be timing issues. You may be stopped at a light, then you'll be able to go. People will move. I think they'll have a traffic flow that makes a heck of a lot more sense than it is now, without any controls.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's catch as catch can.
Yeah, it's a mess because you're trying to go to 195.
Right.
They're coming out from 195, and you're trying to go straight. They're coming this way on that 7-Eleven.
Correct.
It's a mess there. You're getting out from getting gas, and you're trying to get out. It's the one that they don't have a big accident there.
No, I agree. I think the timing lights and widening the ramps will help with that, though.
Thank you.
I heard this morning that lottery revenues are down $200 million. What is that going to mean for New Bedford, specifically the school department?
That's a good question. And 2 days ago, I was talking to the treasurer's office, and that issue came up. And what they indicated to me was those were projected revenues. They think they'll still be solid as far as their bottom line numbers go. But it means if you've been planning for increases, there's going to be a problem. And quite frankly, I haven't been planning for increases. I've been assuming that what we get is very, very little to begin with. So I haven't predicated New Bedford's budget on lottery receipts. I figured that whatever we're getting now is going to be probably a baseline. So hopefully that's not going to affect New Bedford. Whereas if I had been figuring 5-7%, it would be a problem. It'd definitely be a problem. Yes, sir.
What is New Bedford doing as far as all the immigrants? And they're all taking some of the jobs, the factories, and so on and so forth. But what are they doing as far as bringing in industry that's going to support people that can buy homes and so on?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of quick things, and then I'll talk about the immigrants. The Bianco factory was just sold to a group out of Fenton, Missouri, the Carver family, who's been running a defense plant for about 30 years. I met with them last week. They're going to bring that number back up to 500 and hope to expand it. Those will all be legal, residents, citizens of New Bedford, hopefully of New Bedford or the surrounding areas, working in that plant. That's a good thing, and that's something that the first day of the raids, I indicated publicly I wanted the Bianco group removed from the company because I knew, based on my experience as an attorney, that they were going to go on the no bid or the no procurement list, and that those jobs would be gone. First of all, we didn't even know they were there. Okay, they were under the radar, but now we know we got 500 jobs in the city, so that worked out, thank God. As far as jobs in our city go, my understanding under the law is that if you hire someone, they've got to be a legal person in the United States. If you hire someone, they have to have a social security number. If they don't, they have to have a tax ID number. If you hire someone, you got to pay them minimum wage. You have to declare it. So my first response on this is I want to make sure our employers are hiring people who are illegal. The second thing, though, as far as New Bedford and illegal aliens or illegal immigrants go, is simply this. When I was sworn in to uphold the state constitution, the federal constitution, which means I'm supposed to provide certain basic services to anyone who comes in our city under the idea that's the United States of America, and you don't make your own local decisions regarding individuals or back and forth commerce, things like that. We provide police protection for everybody in our city. We certainly provide fire protection. St. Luke's Hospital, I believe, if someone comes there and is sick, they serve them. If someone in our school and someone comes in our city who's within the age of school children, they get to go to our schools. And until someone tells me that that's different for anyone who's here not legally, that's what we have to do. As far as how I feel about this issue, it's very simple. I went to Washington last week. Congress, for 2 decades, the United States of America ignored the immigration laws and let anybody they wanted pour into this country. Some reasons because they turned a blind eye, some reasons because in some states they wanted the extra labor. But the fact of the matter is now there are 14 million people here over the last 2 decades, over the last 20 years who came in illegally. And they're all over. They're not just in New Bedford. They're all over the cities and they're all over the Midwest. They're everywhere. They're in the Southwest. They're everywhere. So the question, and they become part of the community. I mean, they've had kids here. Those kids are now U.S. citizens. So the first question I have is, what's Congress going to do about it? And there's a couple of different options. One would be declare a date and tell everyone they got to get out. If you don't have legal residency here, then you got to go. So declare the date as January 1, 2008, or January 1, 2009, or June 30, whatever it's going to be. Tell everyone to leave. And then the people that don't leave, tell them you'll be subject to arrest and deportation. But one way or the other, if you're serious about having everyone go, then enunciate the policy and let's get on with it. If you first believe that you got to seal the borders right now so that you don't have any others, then get serious about it and do it. Seal the borders. Now you've got 14 million people who are here illegally, but at least you don't have more coming in, unless they're coming in under the immigration system, which is a carefully planned system based on numbers and dates. If in fact you've decided you're not going to ask 14 million people to leave, then let's get on with that too and figure out what their status is, what their rights are, what the rights they don't have, and let's do that. But to set up an issue for the next 2 or 3 years where people are fighting about people here who are not legal is something that's going to take an awful lot of time and effort away from things that need to be resolved immediately for the country.